Okay, so we're back for what should be the final part of my Assassin's Creed 3 review, and we're gonna cover gameplay, the gameplay aspects of the game. Um, and I was just searching for a new image to use as the background image for my video, and something popped up, and it reminded me that I missed something out. It sort of ties into story and gameplay, so I'll actually mention this first. This is another thing that pissed me off. Um, the PS3 version of the game. Let me actually get. Let me read what it says on the front. PS3 exclusive edition includes 60 minutes of exclusive gameplay. Okay, so this is the Benedict Arnold missions, and it says it's 60 minutes of extra gameplay. This was a fucking con. Thank God they gave it to you for free for getting it on PS3. If I had to pay for that, if I'd paid for that, played it, and then, that would have pissed me off. It it took me 20 minutes to complete the 4 missions of the Benedict Arnold thing. I'm not even lying. The missions are so fucking short, and it's just rubbish. It wasn't even good. You carry shit around, and then you fight enemies. It was so bad. And that pissed me off. So yeah, that sort of ties into story and gameplay. But now let's get into gameplay. And actually, I'm gonna try and do gameplay quickly, and then I'm gonna talk about characters, but not as a category. I'm just gonna talk about them in general. So gameplay, a bit like I said with Connor's background, I felt that the gameplay wasn't fleshed out for him enough, and yeah, I thought that was a bit of a downside. But the gameplay is the best part of this game. It's very, very fun. You can do multiple counters at different times, and this is the fighting aspect of the game. You can do multiple counters. There's so many ways to kill enemies. This is definitely the most brutal Assassin's Creed ever. Like, when you're playing as Desmond, you have both the hidden blade and a knife, and then there's one bit where I was countering a guy, and he stabs him in the throat with the hidden blade, and stabs him in the top of the head with the knife, and I was like, oh yeah. It was fucking amazing. It was so good, and so yeah, the brutality of the combat is really, I think it's a nice aspect, because the American Revolution was a hard time for all the Americans and Native Americans, and the combat sort of reflects the mood that they were in. They sort of didn't care. They just wanted to. Well, Connor wanted to just kill everyone in that manner, and he wanted to be violent and hurt people, and yeah, I like that. I like that aspect of the combat. The other bits of gameplay are the climbing and the running around, the free running, and they've actually changed the free running up. It used to be that on PS3 you had to press R1 and X, and on Xbox, yeah, I think it was the same, RB and A, and you had to press 2 buttons to be able to free run fluidly and nicely, so you could actually do the running on the rooftops and such like. And in this game, to do the running in the trees, which I'll get to in a minute. And they streamlined it. But it makes that X/A button very useless. The jump in this game is useless. It does nothing. All you need to do is press R1 and hold the left stick up, or wherever direction you're going, and he'll run. And although they're trying to streamline it, I don't know. I didn't like it that much. I kind of liked having different levels of the running. So there was the sort of there was the walk, the fast walk if you pressed X or A, and then if you just pressed RB, then you do like a jog, RB or R1, and then if you press those two buttons together, I'm not going to say it 'cause it keeps getting me confused, then you'd go into the run, and I like that. I actually like that. Although I guess what you could say is for new players it's easier. Like if someone was playing Assassin's Creed 3 for the first time, and they were new to the series, just having one button is a lot easier to run with. And the new animations for Connor and Desmond when they're traversing, especially for Connor when he's traversing in the trees, is beautiful. It looks so nice, and silky smooth gameplay, apart from when it's lagging. Yeah, I like the fact that you can climb in the trees, and the nicest thing is where you're climbing up and then he's putting his hands in the cracks, and it looks amazing. That's the best bit about the climbing that I like. It doesn't happen too often, but he'll like climb up the side of a rock face by just the hot. It just seems impossible, and yeah, I like that. So yeah, I think they improved the free running a lot. Now, more bugs. There was one mission in the game where you have to hunt down some people. I'm not going to talk about it. And I was using the tomahawk. The tomahawk is Connor's like go-to sort of weapon, and it's a really good weapon. I really enjoyed it, and I disarmed this guy, and Connor for some reason dropped the tomahawk and picked this guy's knife up. So for the rest of the game I had this shitty knife, so I was like, I'm not fucking using this. I went back to the mansion to try and get the tomahawk. Tomahawk wasn't there, so I had to use the shitty wooden stone tomahawk. Yeah, I had to use a shitty tomahawk for the rest of the game, and it's horrible. And that brings me to another point. I'm going to try and get this done quickly. It brings me to another point, that the weapons in this game are useless. Apart the money. Sorry, what I mean to say is money in this game is useless. You don't need to go and buy any swords or anything. You can complete the game with just the tomahawk, and the hidden blade. Rope darts are useless. The bow is pretty much useless. The pistol is quite good, but it takes ages to reload. The snares are useless. The bait is useless. The poison darts are useless. Smoke darts are useless. Everything is fucking useless. And it, like I said, you don't feel immersed in the world. And this is because they didn't do. I don't know what they changed their formula up, and the fucking side missions are useless. You can go the whole game and not play one side mission, and it won't like affect you badly. Like in Assassin's Creed 2, if you did side missions, you got lots of rewards, and those would help the people in your little town that you had, and they've changed it up a lot, and I think that's bad. So gameplay, I'm going to give it a 7. So overall, in my opinion, the game is good. I'm not going to lie. The game is good. It is a good game. It's quite fun, but from my expectations of remembering Assassin's Creed 2, how much fun I had with that game, it's a big letdown, a big disappointment. It could have been one of the games of the year, one of my games of the year, but it's not going to be, because of all the reasons I've spoken about. So overall, I have to give the game, I've given the 3 categories 7.5 twice and 7 respectively. So overall, the game for me gets a 7.25. It's a good game, but it's not amazing, and I would recommend a rental purchase rather than buying it. So yeah, that was the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I ranted and I might have made it sound quite bad, but it is a good game overall. But thank you for watching, guys. It's been What's 95, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.